The basket.
We're live.
Hello. Welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. Nope, another Monday live with the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will, and I haven't started drinking yet.
I'm Sarah. I can't stop laughing.
And I'm Matt. We're going to drink
Today
it.
I'm Sarah.
Today we're joined by Ben Stahl, who is our resident Compass Box lover and Compass Box collector. We're going to call him our Compass Box expert. And we're going to be drinking a whole lot of Compass Box, talking about them with you tonight.
Yes. So, Ben, thanks for
Who's
coming.
in the chat?
So, we have crap loads of people in the
Thanks
chat.
for
That's
having
good.
me.
We have 29. Thanks for
Thanks for
coming.
being here, Ben.
And thanks for donating all these amazing
Yes.
samples you gave us as well. So, we're looking forward to, we think it probably might be a record for most in a one night in a live stream. We're hoping. So, we'll find out. I don't know. It should be pretty awesome.
Come on, Guinness, contact us.
All right, so let's see who's in the chat. We'll do a few housekeeping things, and we'll go from there. So we got Richie Z, Tom R. Let's see here. Karen B. Ford, Chad Adams, Eric Evanson, Donald Rance, Jeremy Burns, Robot Scott, Captain Make It Happen. Let's see. Mark JG, Wheels, Charles Ashworth, Dustin, Nicholas Burt, YLW, Trey Coons, Victoria C, Mike M, Bourbon Insane. Of course, everybody check out Chris's channel if you haven't already. Charles Ashworth, Chad Adams, Moose Chun. Let's see. I hope Arthur Lopez, Donner Pass Whiskey. And let's see. Hope I'm not missing any. Ben Demon Hunter. Jimmy Jazz, Zach Andrews. Master John wants to check out Jason's if you haven't prior. Pit Face Barbecue. Of course, is Brian and our resident amazing barbecue man.
Yum.
Unfortunately, Brian forgot it was tonight. He's supposed to make barbecue. He failed.
Waters every time you mention Brian's name.
I know. So it's okay. I have to give him shit. It's fine. Luis Ochoa. And it's all good. So, all right. So some things coming up before we get into this awesome night is coming up in the near future. We'll be having a Lone Elm pick that'll be coming out. And so if you guys are interested in that, always happy to have you guys email me, and we can always hold it here so you can get it, or we can make arrangements for, olive oil transfers, such things. Things like that are coming up. Of course, we have also reviews and all this other good stuff. See, we'll be having a, what do you call it? How to Pick Your Whiskey Store episode, which is going to be pretty cool that we filmed a while ago at Will's editing. So it should be awesome when that's out. And I think that's pretty much it. That's coming up for the moment. So we'll talk about more things later in the evening. So let's jump into Compass Box night. So we're going to do 25 different expressions this evening. It's like we said, Ben is our expert on this. And so let's just jump in and start the drinking, and hope everybody else in the chat is drinking some Compass Box along this. And so we're going to start with the Great King Street Artist Blend, which is like $35. So, all right, Ben, take it away. What do you know about this whiskey?
Honestly, you say I'm an expert, but I don't really know much about this one. I usually do all the limited stuff above my head, wrong hand. That's cool. So yeah, Artist Blend is probably their go-to. Approachable at best. It's not the best thing you're going to have, but a lot of their store picks of the Glasgow and Artist Blends are fantastic. So if you can go pick one of those up, I would highly recommend it. It's about $40 to $50 for those instead of $35 to $40. What's in it is the same stuff. It's the same blended whiskey. If you don't know what a blended whiskey is, it's not a single malt, so it's a bunch of other distilleries blended together. But for just the regular Artist Blend, you have Glenleash, Camembridge, Highland Blend, which I will go over more what that exactly is. But it's not one of my favorites. I like Hedonism better than the Artist, and I like Glasgow better than the Artist of just the core range.
Totally agree. All right.
It's light, it's friendly, it's approachable.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you haven't had any Compass Box, it's a good place to start. Or even just getting into Scotch, it's a good place to start. Because it's not It's not offensive. It's
It's not overly grain heavy. I'm tasting mostly malt.
Yeah,
even though it's 50-50.
Yeah.
And it's 43%, so it's not going to hurt you from the proof either.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of an effervescence on the finish.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it is tasty. It's good.
It's really just your typical Space Eye blend. It's not bad, but it's mostly sweet, approachable notes.
So I'm gonna try to roll right through these and keep us on track. What's different about this and the Glasgow blend as I pour that one in my glass?
Okay. Also, my Whiskey Den came in too, which is Patrick, which he does also whiskey reviews. So check out my Whiskey Den if you haven't before.
What's up, Pat?
The
I'm gonna pour them side by side.
Is more nuanced. Yeah, but it has a little bit of Lafroig in there, so it's about 25% Lafroig, but it's not super peaty at all.
Yeah, I can get a little bit of a.
Speaking my language is what I heard.
Yeah.
I can get the peat in there.
Yeah, the smoke and the tar.
It's too early in the night for this.
Well, once you get past this, we won't do any more peated for 15 or so more scotches, so you're good.
You don't have to drink it.
15 or more.
It's fine. Oh, ADHD Fishing came in. How's it going? Check out his channel too. Let's see. Oh, see, I like this. Is one of my favorites. But same thing. This is $35 as well, and it's also at 43%. So this is also one of this is my favorite cheap blend that you can buy, really and truly, of all blends that are on the market. I mean, I really enjoy the stuff a lot, and it's generally not too difficult to find. So if you can find it, I'd pick that up for sure. But actually, also a good one to get people into peat with is for this one too. Since it's sherry and peated, it's quite nice.
I was thinking the same thing, and for $35, this is it's a darn tasty whiskey.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Yeah, like I said, this is my favorite cheap blend you can get.
Yeah,
cheap is relative here, but cheaper than the rest of the Compass Box line.
Yeah.
Well, that's
say again, Ben.
I mean, their core range, the Compass Box's whole core range is supposed to be to make blending more than what it was. Like, it's not just Johnny Walker products. A lot, and that's what a lot of people think blended scotches or teachers are just bottom well line scotch. So at $35, $40, yes, this is going to be way more approachable than what most people think of scotch, but it's also going to be something where you're not disappointed in what you're buying.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest, before I really started watching the Whiskey Vault, that's what I thought all blended whiskey was just a bunch of crap. And that, single malt. And then I found out they started talking about Compass Box. I'm like, what is Compass Box? As you can see, now I have a problem. So, yeah, Compass Box is freaking awesome. So there are great blends. And in fact, probably about half of these are just blended whiskeys, which is just fantastic in reality.
Yeah. Not just blended malt, but blended whiskeys.
Yeah.
But yeah, the peat shows up, but really on the end, the sherry really takes over more than anything on this one.
I agree.
It's a beautiful whiskey, though.
But the peat is definitely there. That 25% Lafroig is absolutely not only on the nose, but on the palate as well.
Yeah.
So if peat's not your thing, you've been warned.
Yes, but it's a good introduction to peat too, though. So
I agree with that.
It goes both ways.
I think that a lot of the sherry you're getting is Aberlour, which is only for the Glasgow blend, not the artist blend, and that's where you're getting a lot more of those sherry flavors.
Okay. Makes sense. Yes, yeah, because the other one you don't get any, because I don't think there's any sherry casting on this one. Yeah, there's not. But yeah, plus the other cool thing is all these are non-chill filtered, all that cool fun stuff. No artificial coloring, any of that crap. They don't believe in anything, which is great. So you get a lot of cool things. And, obviously, I don't know. I guess, hey, I guess tell them what Compass Box and general philosophy is. I think that's probably also good, people, before we get to the rest of these. Yeah. What is Compass Box, John Glazer, and all that good stuff? Yeah, so John Glazer is the founder. He was a blender at Diageo for Johnny Walker in the 90s. And he decided, there's all these great, whiskeys that are out there that are owned by Diageo, but we're not able to blend them. So he made his own company, called it Compass. He believes oak is the forefront of what makes whiskey, the flavor profiles is you have to have a good cask, you have to have a good wood, and that will make it better.
And that blending is not something to be shied away from. Where, most people, as I said before, blended whiskey is something that it's a well whiskey, something you mix drinks with. But it can be so much more. And a lot of the expressions are maybe 3 or 4 different types of single malts or single grains, but they're blended together. They're so much better. And I don't
Oh, do you want me to hold the bottle up? Yeah, here we go. This one, the Glasgow blend. It's a red label or whatever, reddish color label. But yeah, whereas the artist blend is a cream colored label, which same thing, a good blend. But I really, really prefer the Glasgow greatly over it. So, but I wouldn't be sad to drink either one though. I think you could be happy about it if somebody offered you at their home. You'd be happy to drink either one and not be sad about it.
Moving on to the Compass Box Oak Cross.
I'm done with these.
Compass Box Oak Cross.
That's the first one. All right, I'll grab that one. All right, Oak Cross comes in also at 43%. This is a blended malt, so there's no grain in this one. So this is an older bottle.
Yes.
Like the newer ones are a little bit different labels, but this is probably my favorite of the basics from them. So
before I was talking about it says Highland Malt Blend in the artist blend. That is actually Oak Cross, because Oak Cross is a blend of 3 distilleries: Clynelish, Dalwhinnie, and you'll see a lot of Compass Box blends. They say, "Oh, it's a Highland Malt blend," and that's pretty much what this is. It's just those 3 distilleries in different proportions for different editions, but it's all the same thing, because the Scotch Whisky Society Association. You have to abide by their own rules, and Compass Box pushes the box on what can be said about their whiskeys, and age statements and disclosing of what distilleries they actually are blending with. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad whiskey.
No, I like this one.
No,
This is not Oak Cross. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's about $50 for the Oak Cross. Yeah, exactly. It's a good way to get people to blended malts. Hey, Whiskey Quest came in San Antonio. You can always check him out. Also, has a cool channel. Hey, Ice House. And the Whiskey Friend. There's Alan. 4 a.m. over in the UK. So definitely check out Alan. Alan's close to 1,000 subs. So if you haven't subbed over to Alan at the Whiskey Friend, go ahead and do so, because he's got an awesome Scotch channel over there.
The one thing I will say about edition,
You have to say it again.
they're very open about what is in the bottle. For all Compass Box editions, they're very open about what is blended inside the bottle. There's no hiding of oh, this is a whiskey from somewhere. If you ask them, they will tell you exactly what was in the bottle.
Yeah, and they have really cool sheets on their on the Compass Box website that actually gives you the breakdown, the percentages, what type of barrel it went into, whether it's finished in a sherry or port or whatever they use in it. I mean, it is explicit. And like Ben said too, there's some little parts that tell you Highland something they can't tell you, but if you email them, they will tell you exactly what's in it. So they're not afraid to tell you. They're just stupid rules, SWA bullshit. So
Yeah.
Hey, Dram man.
That Highland blend is Clynelish, Cheninick, and Dalwhinnie. So they if you email them, that's what they'll say, and it'll say buy a bottle of Oak Cross, and you can taste what that is.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it easy then. Oh, it is tasty though. Yeah, I really like this. It's just a nice, clean, refreshing Scotch for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you give this to people that are, I would say, single malt snobs, and you give it to you give them a bunch of stuff blind. They're not like, that's the best one. I'm like, yeah, that's a blend. That's a blended malt. It's not. They're like, oh, it's a blend. I'm like, no, it's only single malts put together. It doesn't have any grain in it. They're like, oh, I didn't know that was even possible. I'm like, yeah, it is, and it's really good. And you just picked that one as your favorite. It's funny.
I think a lot of people don't know what single malt even means. Single malt just means it's malted barley from a single distillery. That's all that means.
Right.
Sure.
And that's something that if you told the average person that's in the whiskey, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know what that means." But you got to remember, we're a small group of people. Thousands of people drink blended whiskey.
Valid point.
And that's fine. So when you say it's a blended whiskey that is made of single malts, it's taking something that could be bottled as a single malt, blending it together, and having a new expression, and then making that the sum of their parts better than what it is. So
right.
I think that's what attracted me to Compass Box was just you hear about these things and you're like, okay, I've tried all these distilleries, but what if I could blend it myself? And it's like, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But when you try a Compass Box, you're like, everything has been solid to at least acceptable.
Definitely. Yeah, there's only one we'll get tonight that it's weird. I'm pretty sure if you know Compass Box, you know what you want to get to. It's going to be 5 or 6 from where we're at right now. So
I just went ahead and poured this Compass Box Spice Tree. And this thing is so much more fruity and floral.
It's tropical
fruits, pineapple and
papaya.
This was the first Compass
mango
Box that I ever had. And yeah, it's all tropical fruits. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, this is my first one as well. Affinity, I haven't had Affinity yet, Dustin, so I can't. It's the one that's new that I don't have because I never saw anywhere here. So I cannot comment on Affinity. Have you had that one, Ben?
Yeah, I have had it. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's all right. Because that one's not as... Didn't it have, like, brandy or something in it? Something weird?
Calvados.
Calvados. In it. Okay.
So John Glazer with Calvados and then just buy them at home or at bars. And he decided that was something he really wanted to bottle, and it became Affinity.
Oh.
I don't love
weird.
Calvados. Yeah. But it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not, price point on that I think is $120. So it's one of the cheaper limited editions. So
yeah, I went back. I did have that one in the vault and I enjoyed it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I want to try it first before I buy that one for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's a bar test before you buy.
Yeah.
Compass Box, I'll tell you if you like this, love this bottle of Compass Box. But I've never really you have to like Calvados. So if you like Calvados, you'll like that.
I do like Calvados, so maybe I will then. Who knows?
It's been a while since we've had this.
Night Robot Scott. All right, so Spice Tree, yeah, this is the first one. Same thing for me. This was my first Compass Box I ever tried. Is my buddy got one over at Mirage in Colleyville, and Alan, who some of you guys probably have met Alan, they've been here before. He's like, "Oh, I got this new Scotch. I need you to try it." I'm like, "Okay." I know Daniel and Rex like Compass Box. I was like, Spice Tree, they talk highly of, and I was like, "Hey, this is actually really good." So that was kind of cool. So yeah, but especially the original Spice Tree was supposed to have all these different staves and different heads of different types of oak, and the SWA went crazy on them and told them they couldn't make it and stuff. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate, but stupid SWA. Stupid.
This is actually the first one that I've had too, and it was when we did the review.
It's delicious.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's super fruity, super light, really nice. And it comes also this one does bump it up to 46%. This is also a blended malt. So Ben, what scotches are in this one? Which distilleries?
It's still the same blend of Glenleash, Teaneck, and Dalwhinnie as Oak Cross, but the staves that they're using are different. It's actually French French hogheads that they're using. So you talked about the first edition Spice Tree.
Yeah,
they were told by the SWA that was legal, and they bottled it. And then the SWA fought them on that later on. So there were bottles that you could have bought that on the secondary market go for $10,000, $20,000, $1,000 because they're so limited.
I would love to try one of those because I tried Amroot Spectrum is basically that, and it is unbelievable. And I wish that we could find barrels made of different types of staves, and it would be amazing. Stupid rules.
One of the core philosophies of Compass Box is the oak makes the difference, and within that, it is different types of oak, whether that's French, American, Mizunara cask. I talked to John Glazer, and he said they would never rule that out. It's expensive to buy a cask like that.
True.
And they're one of the few that are willing to experiment with that, because you look at a lot of the big name Scotch, distilleries out there. We have a 12, 18, 21, up the ladder on single malts, and they don't.
Yeah. They don't play around, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wish they would. I know, like, a few do, but not many.
No, and when they do, they don't. Like Compass Box is their distribution of it in the price point for what it is relatively okay for most people that are into whiskey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Scotch distilleries that don't release it outside the UK because they don't have to. They know that there's going to be a market for it in the UK or in mainland Europe, and it never reaches the US. And the US is the biggest market of Scotch in the world.
That's true.
We are moving on to Compass Box Asila.
It's a good question Dustin has. Can you just make a spice tree and just not call it Scotch? Just call it whiskey? Would that be legal? I wonder. It's a good question.
Yes, because they have a bottle that's technically not Scotch. We'll get to that later on.
True.
And
that's true. Good point.
So I don't know exactly why they would want to do that, because that expression that I was talking about, it's still on the shelves here in Texas. I don't think people know what it is, and the people at retailers don't really want you to buy it because they can't tell you what it is.
It's delicious, but we'll talk about it when we get to it. All right.
It's fantastic. It's not an easy sell for most people.
True. All right, so Asila is a 40%. Now, this is a blended Scotch. So this is an older bottling as well. I got really lucky on this one. I found it on a shelf at a store. It probably had been there for several years. The dust on the top of this bottle was black as far as the box was. And this box, it's a creamish color. But yeah, the top of this box was black with dust. So God knows how many years it sat there for. But I was more than happy to take it off their hands. I think I only paid like $35 for it.
Jesus.
They're like, nobody wants this. I'm like, I do. The funny thing is I went back to that same store, and they now have the newer version of this one with a new label, and they want like $80 for it. I'm like, I guess they figured out what it was. Sucks to be them. Good for me. So, all right. So what's in this?
Similar.
Honestly, no idea. I did not do any research on this one. I will freely admit that.
I will look.
Well, we got a question in the comments that I'd like to answer.
Okay.
Why LW is asking a question. I don't know if you can find it, Matt. I can just read it.
Which one is it? Just read it.
Does oak dictate most of the flavor in all whiskey, or is it more from bourbon usually? Bourbon gets a really strong impact because of its new oak, but all whiskey is absolutely affected by the oak. And most of the flavor is coming from whatever oak they're using.
And how long it's in there.
Yeah.
And in addition of that, there's different types of oak, of the American versus French oak. The staves, are they dry aged in a kiln, or are they dry aged for years outside?
Right.
Makes a huge difference, and that's something that most people don't know until you get into barrel staves, and that's a huge difference on just not the distillation process.
No, actually, this one's retired now. So that's a good reason. It's retired. It says it's 7% of Glen Elgin, 42% Linkwood, and 52% Cameron Bridge. So that answers our question. So, and it's bourbon, and bourbon as far as the barrels go. So
I think the spice tree and the oak cross were far exceeding this one.
Yeah, this one doesn't really stick out as much at all, flavor wise. It's kind of dull.
Yeah,
I think also the 40% does that too.
There's almost no color to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a little fruity. You can definitely taste the grain in this one for sure.
It's very grain forward.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you can't find the shelf, the regular price should be about $50 though. But since it's discontinued,
On the Compass Box line.
it is what it is. But yeah, it's fine whiskey. I mean, I like it, but it's not something I'm going to reach for, considering all the other Compass Boxes I think are significantly better.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I'm not disappointed to get it.
No.
All right.
No, none of these have been disappointments so far.
No, it's not disappointing. It's just the other ones are better. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one's that. Let's move on to the Spaniard then. All right. So this is the newest core range one. Is the Spaniard, and this one is finished in Spanish wine casks, and it is also 43%. All right, Ben. What do you know about the Spaniard?
So this is the second edition of the Spaniard. Edition was bespoke Spaniard, and there's probably 600 bottles of that. It was bottled for the Spaniard bar in New York City. It's a fantastic bar if you ever get a chance to go.
Cool.
I have it somewhere around here. I have a bunch of papers. So it's the Highland Malt blend is 14%. The Tina Nick is 22.4. Glendulin is 9.8. There's a Deanston at 28.6, Glen Elgin at 4.9, and then two other Tina. One and for this is different than the bespoke. It's actually it's custom French heavy toast casks, red wine casks, sherry butt, and refilled sherry, first fill and refill, and ex bourbon barrels, and that would be 14. 22%, 59% sherry, and 5% bourbon barrels.
You can definitely get the sherry on the nose.
So it's significantly more complicated, complex. It's it's also a blend. Now this is a blended malt again, so there's no grain in it. It's called the Spaniard because I know Arthur Lopez is asking. So this is their core lineup, and it costs about $65 to $70. So it's not expensive, but it's quite delicious. I know Ben also said these with the second rendition, of course. Chance of getting the first one is basically zero, or if you do, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're actually Compass Box is doing a tasting throughout the U.S. I don't know where they are. I knew they were in Louisville a week ago, and at those tastings they do have bespoke Spaniard. So go on their Instagram and ask them where they're going to be, because I tried that and it's fantastic. But
that's awesome. You got to try that.
Yeah, and that's a one-time.
One time is all that matters. As long as you got to try it, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, I mean that night was fantastic. We tried some fantastic whiskeys, but bespoke Spaniard is something that if you find that at a bar, it's probably going to be $300 an ounce. I'm guessing because they treat it like Pappy in most places.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right then.
I mean, there's only 600 bottles ever in the world, so.
True. I mean, it makes sense. It's a lot rarer than Pappy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
One-time release. So, all right. So,
Compass Box likes to say, open your bottles up. So,
this sherry, I guess the wine cask is predominantly heavy on this one, and you really get the wine on this. I'm sure the sherry cask makes a big difference too. But yeah.
Yeah, you get an almond in there.
Yeah, definitely heavy almond for sure. But it's good. I would like. I think same thing. It's very nice. It's a very friendly whiskey, I would say. I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. But I think I like Spice Tree and Oak Cross better.
Yeah, I like the Spice Tree so far the most out of what we've had.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's the first regular edition, Charles, but the second of any edition of the Spaniard in total. But it's the core lineup one that you can get at pretty much at most places that carry Compass Box.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's try the orangey. I'm excited about the orangey.
You know what? You want to do the orangery first before we do the Muse?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also making a delicious blend of all of these because obviously I'm not drinking all this because that's stupid.
Me too.
It's gonna be beautiful. I can't imagine the end of this should be a fun blend at the end. That's for sure.
Peat Monster's gonna just overpower it. Don't give me that much.
that is a key indicator of how much we don't like this.
All right, so here's the one I'm gonna tell you guys what's on this thing.
Yeah, this is
Oh, good.
Orange.
All right, so this is Orangery.
This is not going into that dump glass.
This is an abomination. This is 50% Glen Elgin and 50% Cameron, which is fine. That's not the problem with this. The problem is they then add hand-zested Nebbiolo orange peel, Indonesian Casa bark, and Sri Lankan cloves. All I gotta say is, why the hell did they do this? I mean, we're gonna drink it because
I believe it was for a cocktail. They just done a cocktail.
For a cocktail, I agree. It's 40%, so it is whiskey. It's scotch blended with crap in it. And if I'm gonna give it a tiny pour because that's all I need.
And Captain says it makes a great Scotch old fashioned.
Oh
I
no,
could see that.
I would probably.
I could definitely see that. Or use it in place of an orange liqueur.
I think when I'm done with the show tonight, I think I'm going to do exactly that, Captain. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that.
I mean, if you take it from a liqueur standpoint, it's good. If you take it from a Scotch standpoint, it's an abomination.
It's orange drink.
Yeah,
it's orange drink.
I poured my bubble water in my Glencairn and then took a drink, and it was like
orange drink,
old school orange drink.
Yeah, for real. Oh yeah, Patrick, don't bother.
Oh, on the second sip too.
It's granted, if you like I said, if you really like orange, you're gonna freaking love this thing. But don't think it's Scotch. It's a freaking liqueur. It's high liqueur.
The shelf. Sorry, it's drink. Orange drink.
Orange drink. I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't taste 40% though at all. It tastes like it's like 12%.
Okay,
it's not Tang.
It's like a combo of triple sec and Grand Gala.
It's like watered down orange Kool-Aid.
Yeah. This is. It's a higher. Well, I think Grand Marnier is also 40%. So
yeah.
Not today. Maybe when we're done, maybe I'll compare this to Grand Marnier just for fun.
You can have this one back.
Yeah.
And we didn't mix ours in our dram.
I'm gonna do it all for science. Someone has. Orange Metamucil. Oh, Chris. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you that. That's pretty close. At least it's not
minus the gritty. Yeah.
That's Yeah.
Ours went in the crappy whiskey infinity bottle.
It's not offensive. It's just it's not whiskey. It's just weird crap.
Yeah.
We filmed some flavored ones that actually taste like whiskey.
Yeah.
One of them.
They were really yummy.
And they were actually really, really good.
Yeah. Keep your eyes out for those.
Okay. So let's go to the Muse. Or not the Muse, the Hedonism. So this is a blended grain. So
I was gonna say,
this is this is the only blended grain I own is Hedonism. So, which means it's only only multiple grains. There's no malt in this.
Is there an age statement on this one?
No. All right, let's see here.
There aren't a lot of age statements on Compass Box because of what they're blending. So
right, it's at least 3 years old.
Yes, yes, it is.
Apparently, you can send all of the orangey to Captain because he'll make use of it.
Oh, we'll keep it. When we have John on for cocktail night, I'll make John use it, make something with it. It'll be fun. All right, so let's tell him about Hedonism there, Ben.
So Hedonism was actually the first whiskey John Glazer ever blended together, like for Compass Box. It's his favorite. It's his go-to when he's at his house or out doing Compass Box events. But it's all grain whiskey as you distillery. North British Distillers, which is closed, so you'll never get that whiskey ever again. And that's what makes it up. So you're talking if you never had grain whiskey, a blended grain's a really good go-to to get you a perception of what grain whiskey is. It's not single malt at all. It doesn't taste like single malt. It tastes very unique compared to what most people would think it is. It's a lot sweeter, in my opinion.
So I've had this open for probably a couple years now. This is significantly better than the last time I had it. It's 43% as well. It's opened up, certainly. I like this significantly better the first time I tried it, especially for me, having not had a lot of grains prior to having this a couple years ago. I was like, what the hell is this? This is disgusting. But I actually like it now, especially having some older expressions of grains, like I've got a 25-year-old Cameron Bridge. I've had some other, Strathclyde, some 29-year-old of that, and just some really old grain whiskeys that were freaking fantastic. So yeah, it's things like that. It's just now, I guess, more experience with things like this. So it's actually a good whiskey. So it takes some getting used to, but it is enjoyable.
I would say grain whiskey is, if you go with the older expressions, and you're going to get a lot more wood influence, but you can get Girvan for 10-year-old Girvan for 20 pounds in the UK.
Girvan is awesome.
It's really good. But
I love Girvan. That's one of my favorite grains.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
don't know
the
what
whiskey
it is.
friend Alan is going to bed. I don't blame you, since it's now 5 a.m. So yeah, you should go to bed. He'll be filming his 100th episode soon, and opening his inaugural spice treat. That is freaking awesome. Well, congratulations, Alan. That'll be great. It's very exciting. Oh yeah, Port Dundas 12. Port Dundas 12 is not. Hague Club is freaking disgusting. No one should drink Hague. Hague Club should be flushed down the toilet. that was probably the very first single grain I bought. Oh god, that stuff's horrible. Oh, this is the nasty. We'll do a review on it at some point when we really want to hurt ourselves. That's the Hague Club. I gave some to Patrick Cohen because he said he never have it. He does not enjoy it. I told him he wouldn't like it, but he still wanted to try it. Like, okay. So I gave him some when I went to Iron Root.
Before you're gonna hate everything.
So he now says he's had it and it's awful and you should never buy it. Yeah, it's aftershave. Yeah, it looks like an aftershave bottle, Patrick. That's for sure.
Trying to keep us on track. We're moving on to Delilah's 25.
Okay. They want to set this record. We'll get through it. All right. So Delilah, hey, we're actually making good time.
Delilah has been my favorite since I've had it. It replaced the Compass or the Spice Tree.
All right. Delilah is a beautiful. Now, this is a blended scotch. It's an American oak in sherry casks. And this is at 46%. And this is made for the Delilah Bar in Chicago. This is the 25th anniversary. They also made it 20th. And they made 8,520 bottles. So we're getting to our very first limited edition stuff now. And this came out, I guess, last year? I think this is a 2018 bottle.
2018.
So, yeah. All right. So tell us what's in this one and what makes this one cool and all that stuff, Ben.
So if you've had the 20th anniversary one, it's the same stuff except it's just older. That's what it is. So it's the there's a little bit of more blended in there because they only saved, I think, 2 casks is what John said of the 20th. So you get Cameron Bridge grain whiskey, Milton Duff malt whiskey, Teaneck malt, Inkwood. But the Aberlour, they can't tell you it's Aberlour, but it's a town town close to Aberlour, which is Aberlour. and that's how they had to come up with some new variations for the SWA. It's getting kind of weird now.
That's funny.
That's good
yummy
stuff. Yep.
You can still find this on the shelf. It wasn't readily available, but I would pick it up for $60. I think this is between 60 and 75 here.
Yeah, you got a damn good deal. It was $100 when I bought it.
I was gonna say,
where you find it for $60?
New Jersey.
Shopper, you're shopping.
Austin.
New Jersey. There's your problem. You're in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, you got to go to New Jersey. Yeah. It came out the same time.
I don't want to go to New Jersey.
But it came out the same time as the Juveniles, and Juveniles was 80, I think, and this was 65. So,
dear Lord, Juveniles was like 130 here.
oh wow.
Well, crap. Going to the wrong stores apparently.
That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
I like that one.
really good.
Heavily sherried though. I mean, if you like a sherry whiskey, you'll freaking love Delilah's.
Why do you think I like it so much?
It's got to be older grain. It's freaking tasty.
Yes.
I do like a sherry finish.
Nice and nutty. Wow, it's good. It's really good. I enjoy the hell out of that. That's for sure.
And if you want to know what the 2013 edition was, it was Cameron Bridge, Tina Nick, and Glen Elgin. So
Okay.
all good distilleries that we've had before in other expressions.
Definitely. Yes, the funny thing is, like, a lot of those you can't even find usually single malts of, but they're all in Compass Box if you want to try them and pick the flavors out because they seem to be consistent. Dustin's moving to New Jersey. I'll get used to the smell.
So you think.
Yeah, I know getting off the plane in Newark is not a pleasant experience. It smells quite bad.
Yeah, no.
Have you been to Houston? I mean, that's not
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
smell. Yeah.
Also doesn't smell great.
No.
Houston's the armpit of Texas.
Yep. Yeah, just sorry. We'll
Yep.
live there. Went
Just
for a job
hot.
over there.
Stinky.
Oh.
He tried. He tried so hard.
He really did.
You knew it was going to
You gotta
happen.
be
at
quiet,
one
Bill.
point.
Or Violet. Probably Violet.
It always happens.
Oh yeah.
Just feed him bacon, Matt.
I brought him bacon. He probably did. He probably already gave him their bacon. Oh, nope. There goes their bacon rations. Okay, so we are moving on to the Compass Box Juveniles. This one, surprisingly enough, is going to ring in at 46% instead of the normal 43 or 40 that they normally do.
Pour a little bit lighter.
I like this one because it jiggles.
In there.
There's that nice bell in there.
Oh, nice.
I mean, when it was Christmas, it was fantastic.
All right. We've stopped. We gave them the bacon. The bacon children are gone.
Poured him
Right.
off with bacon.
All right. So like you said, Juveniles, it rings. It's so cool. It's got a bell in its glass hole. It's the best.
It's its finger hole, Matt.
Both sound bad. It doesn't matter.
Glass hole works.
Bottles
Oh.
have finger holes.
You put your finger in the glass hole.
Try it. Finger hole goes in the glass
In the
hole.
bell
All
hole.
good. Yeah. So
You
Juvenile
know it has a huge glass hole.
bar, I think, in France, and it's named for that. And this is also now this is a blended malt, and it is coming in at 46% as well. But yeah, so it's really light on the color, but it's quite a nice.
I want it just for the bottle.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, the
it's
juice
really
is
cool.
good.
It's
It
a
comes
really
with a
cool
little
bottle.
paper that's got this little whatever this thing is. I don't know, the juvenile, I guess, whatever the hell a juvenile is.
Yeah, this is the second expression of it. There was a first expression about 10 years ago.
Hmm.
So, but this is a completely
So
different
what went
blend
in-
from what that is. This is Strathmill, Balmenic, Clenleash, and Glendulin.
Antonio says he wants them all just for the bottle. I agree. I mean, can you imagine a bunch of kids just running around with empty bottles of this, just shaking these things? It'd be the best.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, when it's empty. I mean, obviously. No,
Bam!
yeah, I'm not giving it to them.
Do a
Oh,
jiggle.
stupid.
That'd be my kid at
When
least.
it's empty, then
Their own
it's,
station are
oh, it's funny.
Jesus.
What happened? Oh, it was the cat. This the bacon kitty.
Bacon Kitty number 2 almost bit my fingers.
That's nice. Not very nice of bacon kitty at all.
It had bacon in it, so I don't blame him.
Oh, well, happens.
This is getting back to those fruity,
Uh-huh.
citrusy notes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very fruity, very citrusy. That's for sure.
I'm not picking up a lot of grain.
Mm-mm. Oh, it's because there isn't any. It's a blended malt.
Okay, sorry. I might have missed that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I like the
But,
fruit notes in this one.
This is all ex-sherry, which is kind of a surprise, like how light it is. But there's no bourbon in here whatsoever.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
It's super
No
light.
wonder I like a lot of these.
Yeah, he uses a lot of sherry.
There's a lot of sherry.
Mhm.
I like sherry.
Now, I think these are 3 or 4 times refilled sherry because of how light it is.
It would make sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not picking up a lot of the typical sherry notes on the nose either.
No, but it gets a lot of fruity.
It gets some of the fruity notes, but it doesn't. But it's not a lot of the red fruits, and it's not a lot of the almond. It's
No, but it's rich.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
Move on to the one that we don't have.
Yeah.
We got a gaping hole here in the middle of our sample.
Sorry.
It's got no bell in it.
Yeah, that's all Matt.
It's my
That's all
fault.
Matt.
This one was on the floor when Will came over earlier. I'm sorry.
Gaping
Got a
hole.
hole right here.
Yeah.
No whiskey in there.
Ha ha ha. This is the circle. All right, so this is kind of a cool story. This one, there was a contest with bartenders that they had, and the person that won. What? No, you want that too? Here. Okay, then take the water. And the person that won decided to make a morning, sunshine, more or less, sunshine in a glass. This is a blended malt. This is release number 1. Suppose they're going to make one of these every year. This is 46%. And so, all right, Ben. So, actually, in the back of this bottle actually even tells you. So that's cool. So this was got Tandu at 18. Let's see, that's 78.8%. Glenleash at 14.8. Highland Park at 4.9. And the Highland Malt Blend, which I guess is what you said is the Oak Cross. So,
Yes.
and these are in first fill bourbon, refills cherry butts, whatever the heck, rechar bourbon hogshead, and custom French oak cast light toast. So, all sorts of cool stuff in this one. So this is a little bit darker. So let's see. Unfortunately, Will and Sarah don't have this one.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I can say is that the Circle is their bartending competition that they have every year, and the winner of that competition gets to blend their own whiskey with John and Joe Boyd. So,
Which is freaking awesome.
every year they have a since last year there's a yearbook, and in the yearbook they always go over who won, and this year it was Rosie. So,
Cool. So what the heck is the yearbook anyway?
So it just kind of like your high school yearbook. It goes over what expressions they've done in over that year, and like what are they? A little bit about Compass Box. So it's cool. I mean, you get it for free if you sign up on their website. They already are released for 2019, so you can get the 2021 if you want.
Good. No.
But yeah, as you said, the Circus mainly about like she wanted to bring sunshine in a glass for a more approachable whiskey for most people that are drinking it at a cocktail bar. So it's not meant for our hardcore whiskey drinkers like us. It's more for people that are just getting in the whiskey. So it's a lot of a Highland in the Speyside blend.
I'm not too sad I missed this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not. It's a nice whiskey, but it's not meant for a complex crowd, whatever you want to call it. It's a great intro whiskey, but it's also $145.
Ooh,
So it's not cheap.
Yeah.
That's an expensive intro whiskey.
So about that, a lot of the Compass boxes that we had are between 30 and 100. And now we're getting into that 100 to 200 range, depending on where you are in the U.S.
True.
So a lot of these are going to be coming in around 150, 170.
I mean, I like it. It's just, to me, it's not. And maybe once it opens up more, I've only had this a couple of times. Maybe it will get better. But so far, now granted, I did have it from my buddy who did brought one that was almost gone. His was significantly better, so I'm guessing this just needs some time to open and oxidize. And once that happens, I think it'll get significantly better. But for where it is when you first open it, it doesn't giantly thrill me.
DH Stove says further up that one needs time to open up, but
Oh, well, then the answer is the question right there.
it's
Then.
awesome opened up.
Okay, well, then I will.
Yeah.
We will. Whenever we get around to reviewing these, we maybe should drink part of that bottle down then and hopefully get to it and get better then. I guess we'll see.
we are moving on to Stranger and Stranger.
Really? So Dustin said after the second pour, about 2 ounces down, it was night and day better. Oh, wow. Okay, so it doesn't take long. We just got to get through about a couple more ounces of it. All right, let's see here. Stranger and Stranger. Oh, yeah. This is the one. This is a fun one. So, Ben, why don't you explain why this is technically not Scotch?
It'll be distilled in Scotland, bottled in Scotland, aged in Scotland, and also be 3 years old. That's the only thing to call it Scotch. This does not have 3-year-old whiskey in there. It has a blend of 1-year-old whiskey. But the cool thing about this bottle is that Stranger and Stranger does all the labeling for Compass Box. So all those cool designs that you see in the bottles, that's Stranger and Stranger. They're a fantastic company that does not just Compass Box, but they do a bunch of other alcohol related branding.
Interesting.
But I think, here it is. So it's a spirit grain from Girvan, and that's why they can't call it Scotch. But what's in here is Glenlossie, Glen Elgin, and Linkwood. So you're getting some quality whiskey that's not Scotch because they blended that 1%. Actually, yeah, it is 1%. That's not Scotch. What we're drinking is a blended whiskey, but it's not from Scotland, which is, even though it was all distilled in Scotland.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, he was just trying to make a whiskey that skirted laws and made him put specific things on labels so that he could just have fun with it.
But when I talked to him about this, it was more that he wanted a whiskey that was completely different from everything they've made before, because they've skirted around laws in a lot of other ways with adding like 3-year-old Scotch inside. Mm-hmm. But this was more because it was bottled for the Stranger and Stranger company that does all the logos.
Right.
It needed to be something that was completely outside the box of what Compass Box does. And this is something that they came up with.
But it's delicious. It's super fruity. Lots of pear. It's really good.
Yeah.
I really like. So this is the one we're talking about. That's just sitting on the shelf. Knows the hell it is. This is it. So if you do see this, I think I paid like $130 or so for this one. Mm-hmm. Totally worth it. It's freaking awesome and delicious.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Technically not Scotch, so but I would pick it up in a heartbeat. It's freaking awesome.
Tastes like Scotch.
It tastes deep and rich. It tastes like it's an older whiskey.
Well, yeah, this is older whiskey. This is between 15 and 24-year-old whiskey in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they threw this 5% of this 1-year-old in there. The rest, 95% is old whiskey.
Yeah, 99%.
Damn, Dustin! Holy crap! He's paying 180 to 190. Crap! Oh, yeah. Captain 3D's in there too. So if you guys haven't checked out Captain 3D's stuff, definitely check him out. He's got a cool channel. Let's see here. Jason Coates is in now. Awesome.
Wow.
I really like this.
Yeah, so there's only 4,802 bottles of this. And I have 4,139. So I don't know what bottle you have, which I think is kind of cool that you can track exactly what bottle you have.
Let's see here. I have bottle 4,392.
Okay.
And if you're in this area, Mirage does have, I think, 4 or 5 more bottles of this if anybody wants one.
If you're in Austin, the Specs off of 290 and Sunset Valley has 2 bottles. I know that.
So, yeah, I would pick this up if you get a chance. Or if you're around here and come to our events, more than happy to give you a try on it and see if you want to buy a bottle.
Yeah, this is something I think every collector of whiskey should have something like this because it's not Scotch, though it is a Scotch. It's very strange.
Exactly. Yeah. It is freaking delicious, though.
It's appropriately named.
Yes.
Moving on to double single.
All right.
That's a good-looking box.
That's what she said.
All right, so that's one of the ones Ben gave you guys.
Yes.
So you can read that one, so that's good. It wasn't me that labeled it. It was Will's fault on his own this night.
No, we can read all these. We're doing good.
It should be label makers, so you don't have to deal with anyone's bad handwriting.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
This is my favorite compass
So Ben
box.
was kind enough to give me a bottle of a sample of it because mine's not open. So Ben is. So this is it though. But it's got this cool frog on the front, and this one is a blended Scotch. And the reason it's the double single is it's one of each. All right. So Ben, tell them which one of each it is.
So yeah, double single means it's just 2 single malts. So in the bottle you have a whiskey from Glen Elgin and a single grain from Gervin. Sorry, not single malt, single grains and single malt. Yeah.
Yeah, one of each. Correct. What's in the bottom of this box? Yeah.
So the first edition I've had, it was fantastic. I can't tell you what was in it. I honestly don't remember. But the second, I've bought 2 bottles, and I usually don't buy secondary bottles of Compass Box at all.
Thank God for the guy in Kansas, right?
Yes.
Smells really good.
I mean, I open most of my whiskey. There are some bottles up there that you're going to see that aren't open because they're special event whiskeys. But all my Compass Boxes I opened up, and I was like, I just want to drink this. I want to share. People should know it can be.
Yeah. Let's see what we think of this. Oh, it smells wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
It tastes pretty grain forward.
Yeah.
Almost like coffee still, where a lot of the flavors are stripped out of their
It tastes
out of their grain run.
It tastes really thin compared to the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like not as rich as the other ones.
No, Gervin does have a it is a column still style. So
Yeah, it's 46%. So, but
I can taste column stills. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like them anymore. It's kind of sad.
YO has proud to have no unopened bottles. You're the man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this one.
I only have a couple unopened bottles, but most of it's backups.
They're backups.
I like this, but I think having so many already, this is nowhere near as oily and as
It's not as viscous. It's not as thick.
The mouthfeel is a whole lot different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not horrible. It's just not my favorite.
I like it. It's just different than the others. It's not the same. It's something, especially calling Alpha Stranger and Stranger. It's vastly different.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the same Compass Box stamp per se.
Yeah.
To me.
lineup of these, you'll find there's going to be 4 or 5 whiskeys you really enjoy, and then everything else kind of tastes similar, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you'll it's not just palate fatigue that you're getting into. It's just like they kind of taste similar because it's all the same blends of distilleries, and that is a great issue. So.
Yeah, there's definitely a fingerprint on a lot of Compass Boxes I find to be the same. You can just tell that's a Compass Box.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to be moving on to my favorite Compass Box so far that I've tried, and one that I'm super happy to be drinking again tonight. This is the Spice Tree Extravaganza.
Yeah, I think that's my second favorite overall that I've had so far.
Yeah, exactly. Dustin, if it's a $300 whiskey, you're damn right you open it because it better be damn good for that price.
Oh,
all right.
Oh yeah.
Tree Extravaganza.
Goodness.
and just that depth and rich.
Some of these cool circular containers compared to the other ones, all these boxes, which is kind of the newer thing they're doing. So this is 46%. It's a blended malt as well. All right, and this is came out in August of 2016. Unfortunately, mine's not so full anymore, but it is what it is. But it's a cool design. I like this. It's pretty. All right, Ben. So tell us what's an extravaganza. What makes it so extravagant?
The only thing that's different, it was longer. It looks like it's a completely different whiskey if you compare the bottles because this one's so much darker, but it was just aged a little longer.
Okay.
But I mean, retail when I found it in New Jersey was $130. I don't know how much you paid for it, but you can still
That's what I paid. I paid like $120 for it. It was a good price.
Yeah, like you can still find this on the shelf some places. It's a little harder to find because it's three-year-old from when it was released, but it's still a damn fine whiskey.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah. There's just a richness to this. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so this one, and the other thing too is I guess they use a little bit different casks on this one than the original Spice Tree. This is more like what it was supposed to be back in the day.
Yeah,
where you got the different heads and stuff, which is cool. So the barrel difference on this one's your other big thing. Being older in the barrel being a little bit different. So I know we did a review of this one compared to the regular one. That's part of my favorite reviews we ever did. They're both great.
That was a fun review.
You can't go wrong with the Spice Tree Extravaganza. But yeah, you can find it. The only place I've ever seen it around here is Total Wine. So if you look on Total Wine's website where you are, you might be able to still get a bottle of this one because they made,
I think it was like 16 or 17,000.
Yeah, 12,240. So there's significantly more of these than the other ones we've talked about tonight. So there's a chance you actually be able to get this one.
Yeah.
Or if your friend has one, tell them to open the damn thing and try it. That's the other option.
Quit sitting on the bottle.
Age statement. I got a 3-year deluxe here, baby.
Oh, that is the best age. 3 years. That's all you need.
All right. Ooh, I like that Spice Tree Deluxe. That Extravaganza.
Me too.
It is spicy. The Extravaganza is much more, there's a lot more pepper on the end of that one and cinnamon. And it's a really nice, that's a beautiful whiskey. All right. 3-year Deluxe. All right. Since we have a thing, so if Ben wants to hold up the bottle of this one, because I only have the sample, so.
Yeah, this is one of the cooler labels.
Yeah, it is. Freaking awesome label.
Yeah. So this is a kind of a fuck you to the SWA. It's less than 0.5%, 0.4% is 3-year-old Clan Leach. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, there's the story behind it is that the SWA told John Glazer after the Spice Tree problem that he has to comply to all these regulations that he didn't want to do. So he said, okay, I'll do what you want, but I'm going to do it my way, and it's going to be how I want it. So he just took a little teaspoon, and he means an actual teaspoon, and just went plop. And now it's a 3-year-old whiskey. That's it.
That's awesome.
Now, what else is in there is they call it middle-aged Clenleash. So I'm 24. I don't know what middle-aged is, between 25 and 35 years old. Wow. And then the rest of it is Talisker. So it's 90. Yeah, 90.3% Clenleash and 9.3% Talisker.
Oh, it smells so good.
I can't get the peat on the nose. I can get it on the taste, but it's not heavily peated, so I drink it. But there's a lot of sherry on the nose.
Oh, it smells wonderful.
When people talk about
I really
Oh, when people talk about that older Clenleash, this is what they're talking about.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's so good.
I really love the nose on this.
Oily, rich, and smoky on the finish. Oh, that's delicious.
That little bit of peat, huh?
That little bit of peat.
I love it.
Put it
peat
on.
is beautiful.
Just put it on in here. I'll drink it later.
Yeah, you're right, Wheels. Exactly. They had a teaspoon to get it over here. The Royal Bastard.
Teaspoon.
Can't wait till that stuff's bottled and try it. I know I did a claim on those, so be very excited.
So you guys are the peated stuff.
Are we going to peat?
I think that's all that's left.
No, we still got a couple more there. We have
the Circus in We have hedonism, the Muse.
And the Muse, and we have
This is not a-
Phenomenology still. We still got a few more.
Yeah, and this is not a
Why
luxury
was that one in there?
Because
out
it's
of place.
delicious.
because your
It's just a little bit of peas.
husband.
Out of place.
It's just a little bit.
Fuck off.
Just a little bit.
That's going on. There we go.
It's just a little one.
Oh,
Oh, it's so good. Oh, so what did that one retail for originally anyway?
ooh, well, so I found this in Kentucky, the heavenly godsend of Scotch in the U.S. market.
Yes, it is.
Go to Kentucky, you will find all the Scotch you dreamed of. I found it for $175.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it retails $250 if you can find it, but
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh no, this smells pretty.
We have just poured the Muse. Nope, wrong way.
I know that some of my scotches have come out of there. When you were here last time, Ben,
Mhm.
that we tried, that Dylan Huffman went and picked up for me, and then my buddy Adam he muled it home. And Ben is stuck in the bending over position.
I was going to say, was he peeing? What the hell just happened there?
That's
This smells glorious.
There's some amazing places. Hey,
Ooh.
Justin, ask Dylan where all those awesome scotch places are because he bought me a ton of awesome shit there.
throughout the state, if you go to Lexington, Louisville, or outside of Cincinnati, there's some great little like unknown, liquor stores that would have fantastic Scotch selections that should not have.
They
Little
do.
hole in the wall places.
As I remember when Dylan got
Yes.
some of my stuff, they're like, "You got a guy that likes scotch? Well, can you send him in?" He's like, "No, he's in Texas." Ooh,
Yeah.
the Muse. All
So
right.
this latest
This smells-
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This smells so good.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite noses tonight so far.
So if you took hedonism, the regular hedonism,
Yeah.
and then just made that stuff sit, 30, 40 years, that's what you would come up with this hedonism, the Muse.
Oh, all right.
It is a grain.
So this is a blended grain.
Blended Yes. All hedonisms are blended grain. I have some of this stuff. So here it is.
Yeah, Captain says he needs to find a fell off a truck deal on the whole Myth and Legends series. It's a good idea.
Well, hey, so how much is the Myth and Legend series up in DFW? Do you know?
I haven't seen it anywhere yet.
So it hit Austin in the masses. I was told it was $150, but I've seen it at specs for $130. I don't know if anyone wants some, but if they're ever in the Austin area, specs off of $290 in Sunset Valley. Not my go-to liquor store, but it has.
So what? So this is the exact same thing that was in the regular hedonisms in here. What distilleries in this?
No. This is different. This is Invergordon, North British Distillers, Strathclyde, and Port Dundas, and Unknown Blended Grain, which I asked, and they actually have no idea. It was just in the back of a warehouse. It was put aside. It was grain whiskey. It was, probably 30 to 40 years old at that point. But
Wow.
they just did.
Yeah, it's got 43-year-old Scotch in here. Damn, this is really good.
It's really good. It's
This
got a little bit of
tastes
a
ridiculously rich.
leather on tobacco on the finish.
This is that old Scotch, our old grain Scotch taste, and this is beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad that now I can actually remember what the hell this tastes like, because last time I had a lot, and my answer was, it's good.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say, if you can't find old grain Scotch, look for Single Cask Nation.
So good.
3-year-old plastic.
Hey DJ11, yes, you're late, but it's okay. You can watch the replay, and we still got a few to go, so you're good.
Speaking of, moving on to Circus.
Oh, I gotta drink some more Muse here. That is freaking awesome. Loving this stuff. That is for sure. We'll get to Circus here in a minute. He's gonna pull that sucker down. Have more sip of this. Pour the last drops into my blend here. Oh, that was so freaking good. Yeah, I gotta say that. Okay, so if it's got 40, so the only other Scotch I've ever had that old is that 45-year-old Glenlivet. The Circus. Oh, I'm excited. Another thing that I was like, good.
So I opened this bottle about a month ago, and we're about halfway gone.
Because you're a good man. And Ben's a good guy. He lets us drink his really awesome whiskey.
This smells really good.
All right, so tell us about Circus. What is Circus?
Yes, please.
It's just old sherried Scotch. Honestly, I talked to John about this. He doesn't know the age of this whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, it is old Scotch. We're talking probably 30 years old. He thinks it's probably between 25 and 35, maybe pushing 40 in one of the barrels. But Compass Box, they just happened to find these, and it was during the height of when Scotch whiskey and whiskey in general was booming. And they was like, you know what? We can tell you kind of what's in it, but I can't tell you exactly how old.
Why is it called Circus anyway?
Oh,
I don't know.
Real good.
Yeah. So why'd they call it a Circus anyway?
I don't know. It's a blend of malt and grain.
Okay.
But the whiskey it was Ben Rennes. But on their fact sheet, I'll put up the fact sheet. It's not the best. But yeah, they call it a Marion cask, which to me means it was probably a sherry butt that was third or fourth time refilled sherry. But we're talking sherry from like the early 1900s at that point.
Holy crap! Wow.
So it's one of the few things that I will ever have in my possession that I'm like ever going to own. Because the way prices are going with like all this old sherry whiskey, it's incredibly expensive now. And I didn't even find this in the U.S. I found this in Canada.
Oh, wow.
This smells and tastes very much like a ridiculously old Scotch. There is a richness and a depth of flavors in here that you can't fake. You can't create with anything other than age. This is glorious.
It was bottled by a bearded lady, Dustin says. That must be why. It smells really old and smells delicious. The oldest whiskey I ever had is a 1918 Old Jordan that I had an ounce of it that I bought. And I drank half of it and shared it with 4 other people, and I gave the other half ounce to its bourbon night for their wedding. So that's where the rest of it's at, and they'll give you guys a review on it at some point.
I honestly, when I found this
is good. Freaking delicious. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah. And if you're ever in Austin,
up on our...
Huh?
No, if you're ever in Austin, if you want to taste it, just hit me up on Instagram, or if you have my number. Because I don't mind sharing it. Like, once it's gone, it's gone. I don't have a problem with it. But
yeah,
I want to share it with people that actually, like whiskey. When I brought it to the Bastards Ball in La Quinta.
Yeah, very kind of you, good sir.
Yeah,
indeed.
Those were all delicious. All right, so we still have, let's see here, what we got left.
Phenomenology is next in our list.
All right. Oh, yeah, Phenomenology. Oh, this is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had. Oh, I love this whiskey. Whew. Oh, Dustin, we both have the same problem. It's all good. It's really one of the coolest boxes. This Phenomenology.
Oh, yeah.
They do nothing about it, which is cool. And it's 46% because they want you to guess and think about what it is. So for a while, they didn't even tell you. So they made 7,908 bottles of this, and all they told you that it's a blended malt. That's all you know, and you just kind of figure it out from there.
So I actually do have a fact sheet of it.
Oh, you found one? Oh, because they released it later. That's right.
Yes. So this is it is Glenlossie, Tamdu, Highland Park, Talisker, and Coila. So it is a little smoky, but we're talking less than 0.5% from Coila.
Oh,
I'll be the judge of that.
Amazing.
I don't smell it.
Oh, it just smells so beautiful. It's fruity. Oh, so much fruit in there.
I can pick up on like the heather, the purple flowers.
That's gotta be the Highland Park.
That's kind of what I'm associating it with. Yeah.
I get the richness of it, but I
So
don't
rich
get the nose.
on the
Yeah,
nose.
I don't get a lot of peat, if any, on the nose. Again, if anything, it's just presenting itself as that a heather.
It's on the taste though, not heavily at all.
Oh,
But it's still there.
that's heaven. That's one of my absolute favorite Compass Box blends ever.
Oh,
This blended malt is delicious.
it's a lot richer on the palate than it smells like it's going to be.
So rich.
Mhm.
It's a lot deeper and darker. A lot woodier flavors on the palate.
Yeah, this is, like it says in the bottle, it says it's a school of thought in your psychology that focuses on phenomena or experiences we get from our senses, what we see, taste, smell, so somehow we saw links between phenology and whiskey. So that's a really cool thing. So basically the whole thing is see what you get. There's no wrong answers in whiskey anyway, what you get. It's a beautiful whiskey, and it's just a cool freaking bottle. I mean, the design on this thing is freaking awesome. Yeah, Stranger & Trader makes the freaking coolest labels ever.
Well, I will say they make great labels for Compass Box. If you go on their website and see the brands they also do labeling for, it's not as good.
Not as good.
Yeah, it's like it's your standard, like, that's a liquor label. That's all you get.
Peter?
I don't think so. 53%.
Yeah, Phenomenology is probably my favorite.
I don't blame you. It's one of my favorites.
But this is fantastic.
Ben, Sarah is about to have to tap out. We have quite a bit of peat coming up, so I think I'm going to stay with you guys for a little bit.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do the peat.
This is not a luxury whiskey? Does that have any peat in it at all?
No peat.
I don't think so. It is the
I don't think so either. I don't remember there being any, and I want to make sure that you can try this.
Sorry, I'll rephrase that. There is peat from Coila. It's 4%. But I don't get any peat. I know you're super sensitive to the peat.
I'll be the judge of it.
That's fine.
I'll tell you how I feel about it.
All right, so this is not a luxury whiskey. Has to be one of the coolest freaking stories there is. It's basically a giant, once again, fuck you to the SWA. They wrap it around the bottle, write it in freaking script.
Yeah, I love this.
This is not a luxury whiskey. I mean, this thing's hilarious looking. It's a blended Scotch. It's 53.1%, so they bumped the hell out of the proof in this thing. This is one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. This is definitely going to be in our top 10 whiskeys to try before you die. They made around 5,000 bottles of this. This stuff is freaking awesome. Yeah, and the best one says best before 3027, the year. It's so freaking awesome.
Yeah, I get it right there on the nose.
It's on the freaking the court. No legacy is so rich as honesty. I'm like, it is so great. They just said screw you guys. All right, so tell us what's in this one, Ben.
I get the sherry.
So this is 79% Glen Ord, 10.1% Strathclyde, 6.9% Girvan, so single grain whiskey, and 4% Coila. But we're talking heavily sherried here, and I would hazard a guess we're talking 20 to 21-year-old whiskey in here.
Oh, so freaking amazing. So I got this bottle. A guy called me up. There's a buddy here. He says, my buddy's in Kansas. I never met him. He says, there's a bunch of cool scotch of Compass boxes. I know you like it. Do you want a bottle of this? Yes, I do. And because I know Daniel talked about this one so much, how great it was.
Oh, it's like on the
All I can
palate.
say is thank Daniel again for this freaking awesome stuff.
I love it.
Hey, yo, Jimbo, 851610. Good to see you in. Is that not the freaking greatest?
Nope.
Oh,
That's
now
so
you know
good.
why. Well, I love this whiskey. This
Nope.
is so freaking good.
Nope.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So,
As soon as I taste, I didn't smell it nearly as much as it is definitely on the palate.
I
There's
can-
strong Kalila.
I can get it on the nose. It's hidden behind the sherry.
It is
There's a
so
lot of sherry on the
freaking
nose.
good.
But the second it hit my tongue, there's the peat.
And it's beautiful.
Second it hit my tongue, I knew she wasn't going to like it.
Oh, my God.
That's
That's
just-
awesome.
I don't know. I could pick the sherry out. I could pick the peat out of anything.
Yeah, this is an orgasmic whiskey for me. This is just, I freaking love this stuff.
so in the chat, DH is saying it's 19-year-old Glen Ord and getting into the 40s for some of the other stuff, like 40-year-old whiskey in here.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised. This tastes ridiculously rich and delicious.
Is now you know why it's one of my favorites. I basically never pull this bottle out.
Yeah.
No,
I've
I
had
keep it
pour
hidden
out this
from
thing,
everybody.
and I gave you guys an ounce of it tonight, so you're welcome. It's one of my
That's all him.
favorites. Well, he'll get to drink it and enjoy the hell out of it because it is. Oh, it's just
Okay.
amazing.
I'll drink and enjoy the hell of the Delilah then.
There you go.
You want to taste this before you go?
What are you giving her?
The blend.
The blend.
That does have some peated
Oh.
stuff in there, but it's only a small amount of peat so far.
Oh, this is so good.
No, but I can tell. Ugh.
Yeah,
is there?
40-year-old Strathclyde and Gervon and 30-year-old Kalila. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, this wasn't bad. It was only a couple $100. So and this is worth
For 30,
every
40-year-old
penny.
whiskeys, that's insanity.
I mean, every penny is this thing worth. I mean, not only is the story great on it, it is just incredible whiskey.
I've only seen 2 bottles of this in stores, and I go to a lot of the fucking liquor stores.
Yeah, I never seen it in the store. Oh, there's another one in Lexington. I know you can get one there in Lexington, Dustin, if you need one. No. Because I know when Dylan was at the store, there was a picture of one. Has already had this one. It's called This Is Not a Luxury Whiskey, Eric Evanson. Oh, there isn't any more, Dustin, because you fucking bought it? Well, then I guess there's not anymore. Oh, this is so good.
yeah.
This is just magical. I remember the first time I opened this, I sat in my media room probably for like 2 hours of this whiskey. It was such an incredible experience. I mean, this is like read a book, hang out, and just experience one of the most beautiful whiskeys ever made. This thing is just incredible. If you find a bottle, buy it on site as long as it's like around $200 or so. It's
If you're charging reasonable prices, Matt's buying it from you.
yeah, because
Yeah.
oh,
That's the weird thing about Compass Box. We're talking $200. You don't see that
Yeah,
anywhere
which is-
else.
stupid cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
anyone who
will
just sees
say-
this. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, if
Are we going
if
on to
I-
the beat?
yeah, we will in a minute here.
Okay.
I will ask my friend tomorrow to contact the guy in Kansas City and see if there's another bottle on the shelf. If there is, I guess we should tell him to bring it down, and then we can see if anybody wants it. I'm sure they do, because I know I'll definitely take another one because
Can you get by?
it's just freaking glorious. I mean, yeah, this is like I said, this is one of my top 10 ever. It's just the greatest thing. Oh, let's do. You want to do the Lost Blend first before the Flaming Heart because I think it's got less peat in it than the Flaming Heart does.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So I think this makes logical sense. So this is the Lost Blend. There's 5 different boxes of this one in particular. So depending which box you get, it might be a little bit different, but they're all cool. And each label is going to be a little bit different, but this is the label I have. So I'm sure everybody else at home, if they have this particular one. So Ben, tell us what's in the Lost Blend.
I'm going to preface this with I don't like the Lost Blend whatsoever.
That's fine.
And I did no research because I don't like it at all. I will drink it. It's the least appealing other than orangey, which, in my opinion.
Ben is not a fan. All right.
But the only thing I do know about it is that the different boxes mean different things. So they cut when they were filling the bottles. It was the first of the barrel, the second of the barrel, third of the barrel. So they all should taste somewhat different, but I don't believe that for a second.
No name.
All right. So on the back of the box, it tells you that in 2001 they created their first single malt blend, which is called the Eleuthera. I'm not really sure that's the right pronunciation or not. It's named for an island in the Bahamas where the whole Compass Box Whisky Co. was conceived. But this one is a recipe of approximately 80% unpeated Highland and 20% peated Isla single malts. And after 3 years, they could no longer obtain what they needed to, which was a certain age of the cleanliness. They had to retire it, but this is as close as they can get to it. So let me go on their website here real quick, get you the actual breakdown for the Lost Blend. I know I happen to actually really like this one.
This one smells ridiculously peated compared to the rest of them that we've
had so far. That's true.
Okay, on that note, I am actually going to take off. I need to head to bed. So it's been fun, you guys. Ben, thank you so much for the samples, for the info, for just hanging out.
Thank you.
Good times.
Good times indeed. Have fun, guys.
We sure will. I know I am. All right, let's
Thank you.
Is this even on their website anymore? May not.
I didn't see it on their website when I was looking for it.
Maybe why we can't find it. This thing is so gone. Yeah, it's not even on here. All right, so let's see what else the rest of the box. So that's what it says. So unfortunately, you don't have a lot more info than that because that's what it tells you. It's not on their website anymore. So if anybody has anything, let me know. Let's see.
DH is saying it's Cleanliness, Cool Isla, and Alt BN. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
But
thanks, Dustin. Appreciate that. You know what? On the back of here, it does state that too. The Ultimate Distillery. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, so let's see what we think of this. So it's also 46%. But yeah, basically the whole point of it is on the label, which is cool. It's things you lose in life. It's the lost items and the things you find. All right. Yeah, definitely the peach shows up for sure. Oh, it's beautiful. It's also got that nice fruity notes. I really like the nose of this.
See, I like peated whiskey, and to me, this is just soft.
It is soft peat.
Yeah.
But I like this a lot.
But compared to what we've had so far tonight, this is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much peatier than what we've had so far.
Oh yeah, this is now after this, we're going into heat. It's going to get peatier and peatier as we progress to the finish of this.
Yay!
Oh, see, I really enjoy the hell out of this. It's like somebody smoked fruit and left out in the front lawn to rot a little bit in a good way.
This is the Lost Distilleries, is that correct?
Yeah, this is the Lost Blend, yeah.
A Lost Blend?
Mm.
This is yummy.
I really like that. All right. So,
I think that's my favorite of the night so far. Did we talk about a price point on this one?
I found this one, I think I paid about $95 for it. It was on clearance at Specs. over on East Chase about maybe a couple years ago. I haven't seen one since, but they might still have. They had a few. They might still have one. I haven't looked on that clearance rack in a while, but anybody knows the specs on East Chase, they may still have one of these. But I really like it. Yes. Oh, well, exactly. That's how we describe peat in general. Is rotting. All sorts of burnt smoke things, always dead in a good way. That's how you describe peat in general. It's always in a good way.
I was gonna say I've only seen it for $100. I've never seen it for less than $100 anywhere.
Yeah, like I said, they had it on clearance.
Okay.
I was like, I will take it off of your hands on clearance. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the store is like, I have no idea what the hell that is. I'm like, I will take it. I'm like, it says Compass Box on it. I'll take it. I really enjoy that one.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of.
So, do you like it any better tonight, or you still hate it?
No, it's just not my thing. On the peat level, I don't love. I like Delilah. I just don't like the blend. It's one of those. Yeah, it's just one of those things that like I like what they're doing. I understand what they're doing, but it's just not my preference. So
totally get it. All right, let's move on to Flaming Heart. 48.9%. Oh yes,
which is it's a beautiful 2018 or the 2015.
This is the 15. Yeah, I know you gave us a sample of both, and I appreciate it. It's got to be. This is a cool freaking bottle. Look at this bottle. How sexy is that? I mean, it's just freaking cool. This is a blended malt, and it is just dead sexy. All right, Ben. So what's in this bad boy?
Ben, what's in the 15? We're going to start with the 15, I assume.
I think Ben may have.
Seconds.
All right.
I'm still here.
I can go grab it.
I said to go get the bottle.
Okay. Oh, okay, no problem.
Peat Monster.
He's like,
so
I must pour.
Yeah. So in the 2015 one, it is 30-year-old Delilah, 20-year-old Glenleash, and the Highland Malt Hybrid, and then a 14-year-old Delilah. So we're talking pretty old whiskey. And price point on this, I picked this up for $110. I don't know what it is anywhere else.
I see it usually about 120, 130.
Okay.
Matt, is that about right for what you paid?
On this one, I also found this on clearance. I think I paid about $100.
Now, are these your prices you tell your wife, or are these real prices?
Everything costs $50.
Heard that. It's amazing how all whiskey costs $50.
Don't you know that? All whiskey costs $50. Whether it's Old Granddad or it's Flaming Heart, it's all $50. We take the average.
Wow. Okay, well, Flaming is for damn sure.
Yeah, this is peated.
This tastes like a bonfire. That's incredible.
We're only going to get more peaty from here. Yeah, 38.5%, 14 year, and 22 is 30 year. Wow. That's small. It is amazing the price point for this old-ass whiskey they put in these things. It's insane how cheap they are, relatively speaking.
Yeah, but I think it was just cask that people didn't know what to do with because it wasn't in their core range, and it just sat in a warehouse. And John was able to go in and say, I'll just taste some stuff, and he tasted this, and it was like, okay, we'll take that for a relatively lower price about 10, 15 years ago, and just sat on.
Yeah, no, I agree, totally. Wow, 50 is a lot for amateur. Yeah, okay, I'd agree with that one. That's true. That's what you tell your wife. It's all that matters. How much does a case of whiskey cost? $50.
That's yummy. Yeah, I like that Flaming Heart. The 15 was really good. I'm going to pour myself some of the 18 now.
Yeah.
So this is
Patrick,
2015 and 2018 releases. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll do the 18
Yes.
next.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a specs on East Chase and Fort Worth. They have this awesome Scotch clearance section. There's always awesome Scotch in there for dirt cheap. So I think I got a 20-year Ben Rayek for, I think it was like $80. I mean, stupid cheap. That's a delicious whiskey. All right, so we'll jump a little bit in that in there. All right, let's move on to the 18-year-old. All right, what's the difference between these, Ben?
The 18 has still Delilah, Glenleash, the Highland Malt blend, but it also has Deanston. And in my opinion, this isn't as good as the 15-year-old release.
That's what I've heard from a lot of people. And I think
it's still good, but it's completely
18 $130. So yeah, I'm sure it's fine, but compare the two. I know because I know my buddy Alan bought it, and he didn't like the 15 a lot because he doesn't like peat, but he loved the freaking 18 because he's not a peat lover. So he thought the 18 was fantastic.
Well, I still think the 18 smells pretty darn peaty.
Yeah, it is peaty, but it's just not as in depth of flavor wise compared to the 2015 release.
It doesn't smell like a bonfire like the 2015 release did.
It's much sweeter.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, peat's definitely there. It's, the 18 only has 5% was over 20 years. Oh, that's a good reason. That's a big difference.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It's not as deep and rich. It's not as
oily
dark at all.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't taste at all either.
Falls off compared to the 15.
Yeah.
But this is a release where you start to see Compass Box not being able to buy those super old casks.
Right.
And this is where in 2018 I started to see a lot of it kind of tastes the same now. Where before it was like, oh, this completely different, lines and additions. But now they're kind of like it tastes kind of like what Peat Monster is. And it's not a bad thing, but it's also not $150 worth of a right whiskey.
See, and that's what I was just thinking to myself. The 15, the Flaming Hearts 15 that we just tasted versus this one, like there's no comparison in those two. The 15 was a glorious, amazing thing.
The 18,
if I would have bought that and then repurchased it again when the 18 got released, I think I would have been very disappointed in the 18.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Deema,
very good.
Donald. About Irish, would you go with the Bushmills 10 or Tullamore Dew regular? Oh no, go with the Bushmills. You're gonna buy one of those two. Buy the Bushmills 10. That's way better than Tullamore Dew regular. Unless you can find a Tullamore Dew 10 or 12, then those would be okay.
Right, but the Bushmills 10 actually has some deep darkness.
Oh, agree. And Yo Jimbo says they had sherry whiskey in the 2018 and not in the 15. Okay, cool. Yeah, and you can tell that fruitiness is there, but I really do prefer the 15 over the 18 by a lot. Yeah. I mean, if somebody gave this to me, I wouldn't be, sad or anything.
No, but what I was saying is that if I bought the 15 and then I bought the 18, I would be really disappointed in that 18 versus the 15.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what happened to Dustin, actually.
Yeah.
There's a Highland blend that's 9 or 10. Ooh, so watch this young filler. Yeah.
Are we going to go to Peat Monster next or No Name?
No, Peat Monster.
Peat Monster, yeah.
No Name will crush the Peat Monster. Oh, shit.
I've never had No Name. I'm excited to try it.
Oh, you should be.
But on the topic of No Name, though, the No Name 2 versus the No Name 1 is kind of what I was fearing with the 2015 release of Flaming Heart. Is that No Name 1 I loved. I never picked up a bottle, but I just love that whiskey in general.
Guess we'll find out. Yeah. Oh, Dustin, that's terrible. I know. That's right. You told me that story before, Dustin. That is a terrible story. People telling
Stop that yawning. We got 3 more whiskeys.
All right. Peat Monster.
Where the hell did that go?
That is a very light whiskey. There's not a lot of oak influence on this guy yet.
Or it's just very used barrels. I mean, that thing's damn near transparent.
Yeah. there's a little bit of a red hue in there. Are there any sherry barrels in this?
No. This is all. It's a Delilah, Lafroig, and the Highland malt, which is all ex-bourbon.
Yeah.
But
Woo!
there's two editions of the Peat Monster. There's the bottle you have, which is the older brown bottle, and there's a new edition of the Peat Monster. So,
yeah, I've not tried the new one. I have tried the cast strength and the 10. The 10 I didn't think was significantly better than the regular one. The cast strength I thought was way better though. But and the funny thing is, the cast strength comes in a freaking 175. But it costs like $300. It was something absurd. It was like $300.
Jesus.
So the answer is no. Peat Monster is good, but it doesn't really live up to me being the Peat Monster that you'd hope it would be. Like when I got it, I really hoped it would be just this huge ball of peat, and it's actually kind of sweet compared to other stuff. If you want the big peat from Douglas Lang is a better choice if you really want peat. Is compare the two of them.
I thought that this should have been called the Earth Monster, not the Peat Monster.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of smoky. There's not a lot of briny. There's not a lot of medicinal. It's really all earthy notes.
You're right.
It's not bad by any means, but it's I feel like it's improperly named. This could have been the Earth Monster all day.
Damn, Dustin, you got it for 160. The cast strength. Damn, that's awesome. Yeah, they only had a 175. It was like $300. It was crazy.
But I would defend Compass Box and say this is someone who's not into peat, and you gave them Peat Monster. They say, "Oh, I see there's flavors within this that I like."
I would agree with you from that standpoint. If you're going to introduce somebody to a heavier peated, and then, like I said, see all the depth behind it, you're right. This is a good one for it.
And you got
I would agree with that.
This is also a core. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, this is a core range product. This is not something that's on the limited edition scale. I mean, this is just the regular Peat Monster is what, $50? So
yeah, it's like $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to buy it pretty much every time I ran out of one. I'd buy another one because it was good just for an additive of peat to other things.
Yeah, for $50, it's a good whiskey. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad whiskey by any means. It's just for advanced whiskey drinkers. I think that this is not as what you think it would be based on the name.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agreed. I just think it was improperly named. It should have been the Earth Monster.
Captain wants to know: is the Peat Monster Reserve the same as the cast strength? I don't know. Do you know that answer, Ben?
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
Yeah, they're two different. It's the same blend strength is actual cast strength Peat Monster, and the Reserve has a little bit of a different blend to it.
Okay, so I know I don't have the newer blend. So what's the difference between this one and the newer blend? What's the difference in those? Do you have the newer blend by chance?
I don't have it, but it's just the ratio. They couldn't get enough Delilah. And that's the only thing.
What they replaced it with, or just more Highland?
It's not the same age, is what John Glacier said.
Age, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, a younger Delilah is probably going to be a little bit peatier. So if you got something a little bit younger, you might not need as much of it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, Dustin, that freaking cast strength 175 bottle is huge. It's like a damn freaking baseball bat. Thing's insane.
Well, that's a collector's edition too. They don't.
Yeah, my buddy let me try it. It was really good. That was significantly better, I thought. But I've never got it all in person.
We're moving on to the Compass Box No Name.
All right.
The first
regular
edition.
One, I got No Name number 2.
All right.
Yeah, let's go first edition.
Yeah, we gotta do one first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off on putting this into something. Have the blend not put the Peat Monster into it.
I'm pouring both No Names in 2 glasses to kind of go back and forth between them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea. Let's do.
Ooh, yeah, you weren't wrong.
I told you.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, so the first
This-
Box No Name came out last year. There's 15,000 bottles of this one. And this is a blended malt Scotch whiskey. It comes in this cool black wax. It's just a beautiful. I really love the design of this. It's really sexy. And they couldn't come up with a name, so they called it No Name, which is cool. All right, so what goes into this one, Ben?
So the first one is a malt whiskey near Pure Road on the Isle of Isla, which happens to be Ardbeg. Like that's Ardbeg is on Pure Road.
Okay.
And then it's Portiskeag in a malt whiskey near the village of Bora. That is Clonleash. And then it's the Highland Malt Blend. And I prefer the No Name 1 over the No Name 2.
All right, so I haven't had No Name 2 before tonight, so let's see.
I like the bottle of No Name 2 better, in all honesty. I think it's more pronounced because it's not as dark.
All right, so let's see. So I was able to thankfully locate one of these. Now it's not opened, obviously, because Ben gave us a thing. Did find one of these. That is a freaking badass label. I mean, yeah, it's cool as shit. But let's see, how many of these are there?
I'm stepping away for a short public display of affection that's not going to be public.
Okay, then. Okay. All right, so this one, they only made 8,802 bottles, also at 48.9%. And let's see, so this one is 75% Coila and refill sherry butts, 10.5% Talisker and rejuvenated hogsheads, 13.5% Clonleash, rejuvenated hogsheads, and 0.5% of the vatted malt comprised of 3 Highland single malts, finished in new French oak barrels, which obviously is your oak cross. Very cool.
I think it's really different in that it went from Ardbeg to Coila, and that's the only difference. I mean, you can say the Talisker is some of it, but I don't taste any Talisker in the No Name 2.
No, I can actually smell the meatiness behind the number 1
Oh,
that
yeah.
I'm associating with that Ardbeg. That is absolutely not at all in the number 2.
Yes.
Yeah, it's much sweeter, number 2, compared to number 1.
It is. At least on the nose, it is.
And that's just the availability of casks now, because Ardbeg can make it into those limited edition, 19-year-old or the 20-somethings, or they could put it into their, their committee releases. It's
Oh, that's no fun. Putting a 6-year-old to bed for the last 45 minutes. Ben Demon Hunter, I totally feel your pain, man. I got one of those.
Have you tried melatonin?
No. Our doctor told us not to. Our doctor told us to lock her in a room, but I also thought that was a bad decision. Yeah, that note's name too. They're both really good.
Oh.
Vastly different whiskeys, though.
yes.
I mean, there's a big difference. And this is number 1 is Ardbeg all day long, meaty with the sweet on the back end. This is all sweet peat on the two. I mean, they're both delicious, but totally different. There's a version.
Yeah, different animals altogether.
They're not. Not even close.
No, I agree with you completely. The number 1, the Ardbeg peat, is definitely my preferred, with that meaty note to it it's just absolutely not present at all in number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is so sweet comparably.
They're both good, but I absolutely prefer the number 1 better.
I love them both. But one is, that's peat. That's the way peat's supposed to taste.
Yes.
That's kick you in the nuts, peat. That's beautiful. This is nice. I make peat. I'm really sweet. This would be a really good intro to a heavy peat for somebody that's not into peat, that wants to get into peat. No Name 2 is fantastic. And then when they're there, give them 1. They're going, oh, that's peat. Yeah, just basically made Ardbeg. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. You know what though? Number 2 really is yummy.
It is. It's great. It's just very sweet, comparably speaking.
Yeah, it just doesn't have that same denseness and richness that the first one did.
I'm very happy,
but it's just not the same. It's not.
No. Yeah, No Name 2 is kind of a not. I think I'd name it something else.
See, and that's what I was just thinking too, because somebody just mentioned in the comments, it's like Flaming Heart. There's always a difference. Why name it the same thing?
Yeah, name it something else.
Why not name it a new thing? Why Flaming Liver this time? I mean, come on, like, wait, we can't come up with something different that we always got to call it the same thing if it doesn't taste the same.
Right.
I think the difference is that they want to show you what blends are, that blends aren't always the same thing. Because they're not going to have, and that's the only defense I can come up with. I don't know. Talking to John Glazer, he said there's a lot of limited editions that they put out. In 2016 and 2019, there's been 30 of them, I think. Just off.
Wait a minute, I thought we were
2021. They're going to have a lot in 2020. Oh, I don't have a lot of the Compass Box.
I thought we were drinking all of the Compass Box. I was told we were drinking all of the Compass Box.
We can't get all the Compass Box.
You've had half of that poster. Like that's
exactly.
Yeah.
We just had like one of the greatest Compass Box nights of all time.
I could not disagree more. And gentlemen, we are coming up on about 2 hours, so I say we go ahead and call this so that the rewatchability is not insanity.
We'll answer Donald's question, then we'll get off. He says, Donald wants to know, a theory question of the three is, what would be your dream Compass Box blend? Ooh, that's a great question. To be honest, that this is not a luxury whiskey, probably is my dream Compass Box blend, to be real honest.
No Name number 1 was my favorite of the night so far. But honestly, just the ability to spend time in a warehouse with John Glazer would be my ultimate blend.
Yeah, I would have to say probably something from Glen Ord and Balblair, because the Miss and Leslie series, I love them, but for $150, it's kind of hard to spend that money on a couple of them.
Yeah. Oh, now the General, like Dustin says, supposed to be the very best, which I've not had. But I know somebody here who has one, and when it gets open, they get to try it. So I'm very excited about it. Also, I know that Nathan Huey, unfortunately, is not in the chat. He's also a whiskey somm, has an amazing Compass Box collection as well, and he does have a General. He's waiting for a second General so he can open the first General. I'm like, let me know when that day is, because I think I might have to fly to California for that day, because it may just be worth it.
I know someone who has 6 of them. And
what?
Yes.
Holy crap.
I am angling them to open one of them up. And if that happens, I will have sample bottles at the ready.
That would be the most amazing. I know last year at the
I just need a little pour
of the Whiskey Tribe that Scott had finished off his General with Roy, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, so basically, I think we can say conclusion is, Compass Box is freaking awesome. They do some amazing work. I love the fact they tell the Scotch Whiskey Station to go fuck themselves, which is great.
Well, I like the fact that he's actually taking his time and making quality whiskeys with the blended Scotch logo on it to show that it can be done. And it's just choices that are being made.
And tell you what's in it, which is, the transparency is beautiful. It's there's not a whiskey besides, really, it's really the one I don't really like, like it says the Orangery, because it's a weird, from a whiskey standpoint. It's not a bad, if you just look at it as a spirit, it's fine. It's a great liqueur. It's not a great whiskey. Other than that, there's nothing I wouldn't drink up here. Everything else I really like a lot. There's other ones I like to a certain more degree that I really like, even more amazingly.
My surprise was the Great King Street Glasgow. I didn't realize that was a peated blend.
Isn't that great?
I will be buying that one at the price tag that it has. I'll be buying that one a lot more often.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, that's
stupid good for $35.
Right, exactly. That was exactly what my thought was. Stupid good for that price point.
Yeah, but as I say, I've never had a bad compass box. I've had ones that are better than others, and that's just how it is.
Yeah. No, I don't know. That orangey is not good.
Yeah, I am going to do something after the stream. I am going to compare that to the Grand Marnier and see how close it is to that. And like John says, to the compass box Drambuie. But Drambuie doesn't have enough orange for this thing. There's way more orange in it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
All right, here goes to trying the blend. Jesus, look at how much whiskey I didn't drink tonight as far as like what we poured.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
I
stayed relatively sober through 24. I had 24 whiskeys. I was not given the 25th.
That's not on me.
That's my fault. I'm sorry. All right, so I haven't added the peat to this yet of my blend. It's freaking delicious.
Oh, we added the peat to ours.
All right, now I'm going to add the peat and see what happens.
I'm just glad you
space side whiskey.
Yeah. I'm just glad you guys do that because I would never be able to do that. I have had so many bottles up there that I've tried the blend and it just never turns out.
We've got some. This is like our barbecue episode blend was freaking awesome. We blend crap all the time because it's fun. And all right, let's see what we get here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually really rich and deep. It's a lot more deep and complex than I was expecting it to be. That's lovely. That'll be fun to sip on for the rest of the evening.
Oh, that's delicious. Add the peat to it. Oh, hell yeah. That's like a peated space side. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really yummy.
That's really good.
All right, Matt, let's see.
This bad boy up.
Yeah, let's wrap this bad boy up. Let's keep it about 2 hours.
Ben, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you coming on. This was awesome. Thank you for your expertise on Compass Box. It's beautiful. Let's see. Next week, we'll be having Robert from Iron Root will be here. We're hoping Jonathan can join him. It just depends on his situation, his kids and wife and all that fun stuff. But at least Robert will be here for sure. We'll do the entire lineup of Iron Root next week. It's going to be freaking awesome. Anybody that's an Iron Root fan should have a great time. We'll be having, I guess my question for Will is, have you edited the video for tomorrow or am I releasing the other one?
I have not edited Heaven Hill, but I can do that tonight if you want me to.
You can do it tonight, or I can release the J. Henry. Your choice. I just need to know because we have an 8 a.m. Deadline that needs to go up.
Let's just say we're going to do a J. Henry this week.
All right. So now for Thursday, we're still going with the Wild Turkey, though, right?
Correct.
Okay. So tomorrow is going to be the J. Henry 5 and 7-year-old comparison from Wisconsin, which is a donation from our friend Eric Evanson up in Wisconsin. Fantastic whiskey from them. And then on Thanksgiving, it will be the Wild Turkey Rye series, the 101 and the regular. And so we want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody that wants to join us. And depending on us on Wednesday night, if no one's around doing any live streams, I may go live depending on what the hell's going on at my house. Who the hell knows at this point?
Yeah.
And we need to do something fun. So I don't know yet. Depends what's going on at my house with everybody. So thanks for joining us. Ben, thanks again. Really appreciate it. It was a fun night. And cheers, everyone. Hope everyone enjoyed the Compass Box night. I think we probably said right, 25 Compass Boxes in one night. That's a hell. In 2 hours, I'm pretty damn proud of that. We started at 9:42, 11:40. We're doing good. All right. So everybody, get some great Compass Box in your glass. If not, crusade for better whiskey, and we'll see you guys in next week. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.